difference between
No,
like
it's
the college?
huge. It's a huge difference between like private industry versus here, working for the state.
Mm-hmm.
Um, rules, even getting technology, you have to go through bidding processes and things like that, and everything is so kind of slow when you go into private industry. I mean, when I mentioned AI, because I went to a conference and it's so different because to me they're so far ahead
Mm-hmm.
because you can't, going through the state process of getting new technology and stuff like that. It's a process. This is independent company. This is what we want to do. This is what we're gonna do. And I was just listening to some of the people of like, what are they using AI for?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm talking about. It's good, but you're also taking away some jobs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, writing, communication, everything, stuff that some of your entry level personnel would do. You're taking away, and it's like, oh my gosh, but it's just the way it is. And so that's why it's also important to keep up with trends. Always, keep learning. If you want to get this CIA, I'm sure, but just keep learning.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let your skills get obsolete. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to, because everybody, you got always gonna have younger people coming in. It's always stuff. Keep your resume up.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it up.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people get, like I said, you get complacent, especially when you've been somewhere. You don't think about that, but it's, generationally it's different because your folks, they're more aware. Because back in the day, like I said, the job hopping was not good,
Mm-hmm.
but not now. Because you got to get your experience because it's so competitive, and that's what I said. Don't stay unless you really enjoy where you're staying. If you can move, you can, if you learn something and if you can excel. I don't want you to stay in this job, this role rather.
Yeah.
If you like the company or whatever, you say, okay, I am moving. That's good. But if you get to a point where it's like, okay, this is not working. Okay, I got what I can get. Please keep moving. Okay, I think it's gonna help you excel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you said when you get to like a job and it's like, when you know it's time to move, you just think it's like,
oh yeah.
you know it, or
yes,
you would know it.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. If you start thinking about financially, I mean, life is different for everybody, because maybe you start job, maybe you're not married, maybe you don't have a family. Maybe you say, okay, this is good because it's entry level. I want to get my foot in the door. Okay, now I want to make more money, or I'm not learning what I want to learn here. But yes, you do now.
For the entry, how long would you like recommend for someone to stay at their first job outside of college? Is it just different?
I'm telling you, it's just. I remember it's a young guy who was hired here, and he was a former student.
Mm-hmm.
He stayed 5 months because he wanted to make more. His goal was to make more money.
Yeah.
And and working again for the state, it's like you can only pay for so much for this job. You know what I'm saying? And so he was like, he started applying other places and making a whole lot more money because that was his goal.
Yeah.
So.
You think that's a bad goal or no?
Making more money?
Yeah.
If that is your.
When people say, "Oh, you shouldn't chase the money, you're gonna be miserable," but like, you know what I mean?
I mean, again, he was young guy. You know what I mean? Why not? Why not? I mean, if this is what you want to do, if it's in a field, I mean, I'm just be going because it's more money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was another HR job.
Yeah.
But again, it's the worst thing is when you find a very similar job and it's like, oh my gosh, you pay so much more here than here, because like I said, the pay ranges are kind of rigid sometimes. So you go he left. And so it does happen now more than when I started. 'Cause you felt like, okay, when I started, people were here for 25, 30 years. That was the norm when I came here. Now, no way. And I don't blame folks now, because, get what you can and keep moving. Unless, you're, like you said, if you're in an environment you're comfortable and you feel like you can grow, but don't be complacent. That's the word I use, complacent. Not good.
Yeah, I'm starting to see that with like the older generation, like my father. Like he's a truck driver his whole life, and he's always had one job, well, one company, I should say. And over the years, he just started job hopping through different companies.
Correct.
And it's very interesting to see.
Yeah, because depending on where you work, because you have so many different kinds of classifications of employees here at Towson, and in some areas, you might get a new supervisor, and you might not be the same relationship you had, because you have new people coming in. I mean, it's as I've been here for 26 years, so that's a long time. Right? So you see that more outside folks from private industry were coming in, because before it was people who worked for the state. That's a different mindset versus private industry. So you come in and then you want to shake things up. Sometimes you have to do that because it gets stale. So that happened in HR. You had to get somebody else in. Processes change, and for the most part, I think the campus kind of appreciates the changes here that were made. But you got to get, sometimes you get new people, but again, you got to do what's right for yourself. But don't stay somewhere and you don't feel appreciated. Just don't do it. That and growing is so important to grow. It's young, like I said, you need to be competitive. So that's my advice. I don't know, chasing the money, but it's a lot now with the remote working and that being an option. That's big, because before I never got an opportunity to do that. Never until COVID hit, and then they're saying, okay, we'll let you work 2 days now or whatever. Now everybody's doing that, and some people just don't. That's all they want to do is remote work. So it's a lot of options out there now. Yeah.
Well,
Oh, you're good? Yeah. Okay.